On this day last year, RCBI welcomed visitors to our statewide centers for tours and high-tech demonstrations. And in doing so, we joined over 250 organizations around the country in welcoming people to our centers. Those events attracted over 7,000 people. And why is this important? Because manufacturing is important, innovation is important, and making things are important. And again this year, we are doing the same things. But in Huntington, we are doing something a little more, and that's why you all are here. And we are pleased that you all are here, and we thank you for taking the time to be here for what we are calling, and let me tell you, this is a mouthful, we are calling our inaugural Manufacturing Institute Industry Partners Symposium. And Mary, you have to say that 3 times real fast. Today is about collaboration. Today is about the power of connecting the dots. The goal of today is about collaboration. It's about bringing together our academic partners, our government partners, and our industry partners. It's about giving you all the time to rub elbows, to learn a little bit more about what's going on with the people seated next to you, the people seated at the table next to you, and perhaps identify more opportunities to learn about what's going on with your fellow neighbors. We believe here at RCBI and at Marshall University very strongly in the power of this community and in the community of innovative manufacturers. America's very future is tied to the ability to innovate. And that ability often requires collaboration. Working by ourselves, we can accomplish quite a bit, but we may accomplish much more when we collaborate. There is a list on your table that you will find of all the collaborators that are here today. Not everyone could be with us today, but those that are here are found on this list. And we have extra copies of this list if you all would like to take with you. Now, we have with us today an individual who certainly knows a thing or two about collaboration. A former member of the West Virginia House of Delegates and of the Huntington City Council. Our mayor comes from a family dedicated to public service and to Marshall University. Since he was elected in 2012, he has worked very hard to link the city's distinct elements, business, labor, and academia, in a common collaborative effort to move Huntington forward. And it's been very exciting to watch all this happen. Here at RCBI, we've been very appreciative of his efforts to work with us in a very collaborative manner on several great opportunities. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome our mayor, Steve Williams.
Nice. Thank you, Charlotte. On behalf of the citizens of the city of Huntington, welcome to today's Manufacturing Day celebration. Manufacturing Day, as we are particularly looking at what each of you do, we look around this room. Everything that is placed here, even the pots that the plants grow in, somebody made it. They've taken some raw material, transformed it in some way, added value to it so that we might be able to use it and improve our own quality of life. We cannot get up in the morning or go to bed at night and be able to experience anything in our life if somebody's not making it. Fact of the matter is, in this area, we keep hearing individuals say that we are turning into a service economy. Heaven help us if that's what we are turning into, because we absolutely must add value by transforming something into something that can be used elsewhere. And as Charlotte indicated, much of the success that we're going to have in this area is if we do have collaboration. Business has to be able to depend upon education to provide the individuals and the research that is necessary to be able to advance ourselves. And certainly business has to depend upon government to assure that you have a partner that you can depend on. What we're pleased about here in Huntington is we know that we have partners throughout this room. Huntington, although we aren't well known for this, but Huntington has more manufacturing jobs than any other city in the state of West Virginia. That's huge for us, but it's a sad state of affairs for the state of West Virginia because we need more manufacturing jobs. Mr. Smith, Bill Smith and I were speaking earlier today. When we look in Huntington, West Virginia, the problem that we have to deal with when we have within our own public schools, well over 50% of our children qualify for free or reduced lunches. Why? Because we're creating a lot of jobs in restaurants, not a lot of jobs in manufacturing where we're making things. Fortunately, we have Marshall University here in this city. Marshall University is our largest employer. I had an opportunity to speak with Dr. Kopp some time ago, and as many of you in manufacturing would know, if you're a large employer, even if you're a small employer, if government is coming to you, you would expect government to do whatever is necessary to assure that you could be profitable in the community where you reside. Just because Marshall University is a state-supported institution, you might even question that. State-assisted university. It's our largest employer. In that's my most important partner. When we see well over $100 million being invested in construction at Marshall University, this man makes my budget every year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the person with vision, an individual who is leading Marshall beyond the Teachers College into a research institution that we know that our area needs to be. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Stephen Kopp, President of Marshall University.
Thank you, Steve, and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Today is Manufacturing Day throughout the nation. It's also Steel Day throughout the nation. And earlier this morning, Steve and I were over at Huntington Steel and celebrating Steel Day with them. And as we look at the things that we're doing here at Marshall University and the things we're doing in partnership with and in collaboration with various organizations around the city and throughout the state, I learned this a long time ago. We're all a whole lot stronger and can accomplish a whole lot more when we work together and leverage the resources that we can all bring to the table to make things happen. One of the things that I believed in very passionately when I came to Marshall University is that if success is to follow what we are dreaming about in terms of what we can accomplish, we can't sit around and wait for things to happen. We got to make them happen. And when I look around this room, I see a room filled with people who make things happen. You make it happen through your businesses, you make it happen through your ideas and your innovations, and the things that you're creating and building. We need to team up and work closer together toward a brighter vision for the future of this state and our community through collaboration, cooperation, and teamwork. Marshall University is absolutely committed to this goal. One of the things we talked about with the folks at Huntington Steel this morning was establishing internship programs that really are formalized as part of the curriculum in engineering at Marshall University. This is something that I've been very committed to doing and will happen, and I told them this is going to happen. Unfortunately, we're working on some things in the university trying to move from glacial speed to state-of-the-art and business speed, and some of these things just simply have to happen a whole lot faster. and it represents change. Change can be threatening and so on, but we're going to make them happen because it's important for our students and our graduates to have those connections with the business world and the real world as part of their academic experiences at Marshall University. And so we will be knocking on your doors, doesn't matter how large or small your company is, looking for those opportunities and placements for students, whether they're in engineering, business, or elsewhere within the university. Why? Because those types of programs bring talent to your organization, talent that can be molded into what you need. And when you find somebody that really adds value to your organization, you don't have to go out and look for them. You got them right there. This is good for everybody, and we will be reaching out to you emphatically over the next months and years to make sure these things happen. We are not going to succeed as a community, as a state, if we all simply try to do everything ourselves, all by ourselves. It has to be teamwork, and we have to work together. If we're not meeting your needs, we need to know that. And if we're not responsive to what you need to let us know that. But we're here to make a difference. We are making a difference. And I remember back in 2005 and 6 when I started talking about the things that we were going to start doing at Marshall and the things that were going to happen at Marshall. I got a lot of blank stares, a little bit of eye rolling, and it basically gave me the impression that, well, prove it. Over the last 8 going on 9 years, we've proven it. We are making things happen, and we're making things happen for the best interest of this city, this community, and this state. It is not easy. One of the lessons that I'm sharing with our faculty at a retreat next week is we are being privatized in this state as a public institution, and this is happening nationally. This is not a unique phenomenon here. As a society, if we don't take a stand on whether we're committed to supporting public higher education or not, we will go the road of becoming a private and a more private institution. We have to prepare for that reality, and the plan we're going to work on next Friday and kick off is a 10-year outlook of the university having significantly less public funding than we have today and becoming more and more like a private university. In many ways, we're going to become more and more like the private sector. That's not going to be an easy transition. It's going to be very unsettling for people. But in my opinion, we have to have a contingency plan all worked out for how we're going to make that transition if and when it happens. And so we're prepared to work with partners, collaborate richly, and add value to whatever we can do for you. It's wonderful to join you today. You see this facility right here. You see it going up on 3rd Avenue. Probably the best part of this project is the fact that we are working with local contractors, tradespeople. Huntington Steel is the steel fabricator, and when I saw that, I was thrilled. We can't control that stuff in the public bidding process, but boy, I'll tell you, we've done everything we possibly can to keep the jobs here in Huntington that make a difference. And we've been doing this consistently year after year. And when Steve says we're making the budget for the city, we've been doing this for going on 9 years now. We work together because it's in everybody's collective interest, and we're absolutely committed to this community today, tomorrow, and well into the future.